All right, time is 7 o'clock. Very good evening, everyone. And once again, I welcome all of you for day two session. And just little weather advisory from Bangalore. It's very cold here. The temperature has gone down below 13, and there is some no precautionary measures from the government for Andhra and Karnataka. Thank you once again, and we have with us our resource person that has already joined, and I'll not take much time, so I request Dr. Mitra sir to kindly please take over. Thank you so much.
Hello, I think I'm audible.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So, very good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Here.
Good evening. Good evening.
So, let me start by sharing a screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fantastic. So, just let me start from where actually we have stopped yesterday. And today, what I have decided to discuss, because as the session progresses, from the experience that I have got yesterday, I have just reorganized my planning, that how I actually thought to cover the topics. Today, what I have planned is that after the initial discussion, little bit more about the AI models, because this is very much essential to understand once you actually take any AI model in your own practice for your business or education or somewhere else. So this pipelining is very important, that how it works. So I briefly will discuss that first. Then immediately I will move on to the application of AI in various different domains like business, what I say, education, and some other domain as well. And after that, I will move to the third part, that is more detailing about AI terminologies. So there I will explore in more detail about what machine learning and deep learning and generative AI. So these three buzz terms, which are actually very much popular nowadays, and it may be from computer science or non-computer science background. I think all of us must have some idea regarding those. So I will be very intuitively discuss those things, and with the same flow, where I will also discuss some generative AI tools that all of us use, like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and Perplexity. And I will share my opinion regarding the strength of these tools and how we can leverage the power of this tool maximally in our own domain. So I will show you some demonstration, some characteristics of these tools, which particular tool is better for what particular purpose, such that whenever you will be using these tools in future, you can extract is maximum advantage from these tools. Okay, and at the end of this session today, we will take some some already developed or already built AI models from Google Research Lab actually, and we'll try to understand that how these AI concepts like machine learning concepts are taken into to solve real life problems, and with some very funny games, some other examples of image classification, sound classification, and all. So this will be totally hands-on. All of you will be doing the same thing with me, and we will be immediately understanding the power of AI. So this was my planning for today's session, and in the next week we will be doing some mini projects. So there I will guide you through developing a project, ML project from scratch, but without any particular code. So no code AI project I have planned to demonstrate in the next week. Okay, so this clarification I have given only to because many audience were asking yesterday that what were the topics that is going to be discussed and what was the planning. So I have briefed it accordingly. Okay, so before I start continue, let me help you to recollect what was discussed yesterday. Yesterday, I very briefly tried to define what artificial intelligence is, what are the characteristics we must find while defining AI or while identifying any tool or any agent to be an AI agent or not. There we have found that AI
Sir,
development.
noise is coming. Some noise is coming, so things are not clear.
Noise is coming means it's the clarity of the voice or some external noise you are finding.
External.
I think Mr. Manilal is talking.
Sir, you should ask everybody.
But
You should ask everybody to mute, except you.
Yes,
others
yes,
should mute,
yes.
sir.
Yes, other please mute. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think
Sir, one of them are.
Someone's mic is on and the background sound is coming.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. So what I was saying that AI goes through different phases. One more thing I'd like to clarify over here that sometimes we mix these terminologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and other things. But though there is no specific guidance or rules, but what the community believes, AI is the most means wide umbrella. Okay, the bigger one, the biggest one, under which the machine learning, deep learning comes. So maybe there are many things which are not discussed in machine learning and deep learning, but those are actually the part of AI, like normal machine learning. Some before that as well as talking like soft computing. So many researchers keep those technologies or tools under AI, but those are not actually comes under directly machine learning or deep learning. So AI is the biggest umbrella under which all these things come. So I will be using this terminology frequently whenever I will be discussing, because nowadays it is about ML, the machine learning, which has received most popularity with the hand means machine learning and deep learning, like generative AI as well. So generative AI is nothing but an extension of deep learning as well. So we will be mainly focusing on this machine learning and deep learning part. Other than that, AI has many other aspects as well. It is having also its philosophical aspects, mathematical aspects. So those are also there. Okay, so now what I was saying that what AI was and what are the different components of artificial intelligence we have already discussed, and we found that whenever I am talking about making any computer, any software
Excuse,
intelligent. Yes,
sir,
yes,
Dr. Gore, excuse me.
yes,
Hello.
please.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt
Yes.
you, but still there is some background noise going on with someone's. I think the someone's speaker is on, and your voice is coming a little low, sir.
Some child is studying behind at the
Wha-
background. Some child is studying and reciting.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I will request again. Okay, now it is clear. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is
Hello.
clear now.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So training was one integrated part of machine learning, as I've said, because we were saying that whenever we would like to make any device to be intelligent, we have to give it a learning capability. So under this learning part, we are saying that we need to train a model first, and training takes place with the help of data. So actually what we do in training, we collect some data, then pre-process it, and after that we identify a very good model uh, which will be trained, and many algorithms, many models are available already. We are researchers or scientists are also exploring with different other models which will be functioning better than the previous one. So these are the things. I will come to all these things in my third means topic whenever I will come into that. But two specific things is very clear. You have to understand the training part and the inference part. Training part means where I make a model learn from the data. Okay. So data may be anything. Data may be textual data, data may be image data, data may be sound data or anything else. But this data will be used to train a model. Okay, training means in that particular phase, model tries to understand, model understands the inherent features within the data and adjusts its internal weights accordingly such that it understands the data very well. So this is actually called training part. So like whenever we teach our childs at our home, so initially actually what happens, we provide them many examples of similar types such that the concepts become well understood by that particular child. A lot of practice or examples, so something like that. But what was the main purpose is actually other than the earning knowledge, the main purpose is we provide knowledge to the particular child such that he or she performs well in the examination. So what happens in the examination? In the examination, some new questions are given to that particular child, and seeing that particular question, the particular child means use his brain. That means it's trained model, whatever it is in its brain, and tries to give answer to the question. So this part, whenever I am giving a model a new scenario and asking it to perform and give us a result, so this particular phase is known as inferencing. Okay, so two distinct part like training and inferencing is very important over here. In today's scenario, most of the AI tools that we use, we actually infer. Okay, so we give our data, we actually use the strength of the model that is trained already by some provider, and we get the answers according to our own purpose or requirement. So this training requires a lot of hard work. Okay, so though this is the most important phase in this particular cycle, and it requires a lot of hard work, a lot of data, a lot of resources, a lot of experiments. Okay, a lot of fine tuning, so trial and error. So this is a huge job actually. So that's why you might have heard that different tech giants, like I am talking about here regarding OpenAI, Google, or Perplexity. So they are spending billions of dollars, okay, on training these particular models, because this does not only require data or the algorithm or human resources, rather it also requires some hardware resources like GPU, as well as cooling resources, because the huge amount of water, gallons of water are wasted every day to cool those GPUs which are actually running out there. So it's a billion-dollar investment is working on in training data. But when we are using the ChatGPT, we are actually inferencing. So this particular model, I will come to this in more detail after some time. Okay. So here I have a question for the audience, that where do you think most compute cost is? Actually training or inference? So as I've already said, that training involves a huge computational cost in relative to that particular, talking about inference. Okay. Now, what happens during inference? In inference, a new unseen data is given to the model, and model processes it using learned parameters. And after that, it gives the output like prediction, classification, recommendation, or whatever it is. Okay, like that nowadays what happens, many email comes to our mail IDs, and many of them which are not necessary for us. Actually, Google automatically identifies those mail as spam and means analyze them to a separate folder called spam folder in our own mailbox. Okay, so this is a automatic ML model that is going behind that Google email server. So whenever any new mails comes, it analyzes it, means it goes through this particular mail, okay, and understand the tries to find some pattern, some what I call some clue or some similarities in the mail body, and based on that, it assigns some probabilities, okay, that how much probability is there that the mail will be a spam or a ham. Okay, so ham means that it's a normal one. So in most of the model here I have mentioned one thing, I will be using this terminologies frequently and I will explain as much as possible. So here machine learning models, specifically the classifiers, most of them actually works based on probability. Okay, so it does not happen that model gives us a single output like this is spam or this is ham. It's not like that, because whenever any new data or new mail comes, the model calculates or estimates probability of both the email that it is a spam or a ham. But we decide, or finally the model decides that the output is given based on the probability which is relatively higher than the other one. Okay, so whenever suppose a mail has come and the model has calculated the probability that it will be a spam, the probability is 0.7, and will be a ham, probability is 0.3. So in that particular case, the filter means concludes that that particular email is a spam email and it needs to be forwarded to my spam folder. So it's 70% of probability. So these things like that, because the internal architecture works in such a way that whenever it actually estimates the probability of putting that particular given data in a particular class, okay, and based on that probability measure, final decision is taken. So it is nothing like that. It gives a one single finite answer that this is yes or this is no, something like that. Okay, so obviously this more thing. So here I have a question. So please quickly, I will request the audience that training versus inference, which is usually faster. So they use the chat box and give option 1 or 2. 1 means training or 2 for inference. So please, just 1 minute time, 1 minute 30 seconds time I am giving. I would like to check that whether this understanding is clear or not. Just go to your chat and reply with 1 or 2. Because someone has raised his hand. Do you like to tell something? Abhishek Dwivedi, sir. Mr. Dwivedi, would you like to say something? Okay. Okay, so all of have responded correctly that it is option 2, because it's very clear that the inferencing takes less time. Okay, so why this is the case? If we have to understand it in more detail, then we have to understand the architecture of this particular model. But intuitively, I would like to say that training means adjusting the weights. Okay, weight means what? If I consider that, suppose I just try to make it very intuitive, that in our brain there are billions of neurons, okay, and in different regions of our brains. So some region works with, like, some portion of the brain, like cerebrum, this actually
Small
function
brain.
as a small brain, and it is involved in thinking, reasoning. So this type of highly means conscious characterized tasks, and there are some also cerebellum, which
Correct.
actually controls the motor function, keeps the body like that. So different portion of the neuron have their own features, which actually whenever our sensory organs give some input to our brain, they adjust their weight accordingly, such that whenever this type of situation will come again, it will be able to identify that very quickly. Okay, so the purpose is same, as that our environment become familiar as early as possible. So these things happens. So this is the same thing happens with the means artificial model. If I am talking about artificial neural network as well out there are also some artificial neurons. So as whenever we will be giving data, more and more data to that particular artificial neural network, or what we call artificial brain. So there also those neurons adjust their weights. So here weights are nothing but some numerical values. One thing you will be able to understand. Only some numerical values. These numerical values are adjusted based on, again, as I have said in the previous session, that based on the gap that we have found, based on the error, like y cap minus y, that is actually predicted result and the actual result. So based on that particular error, this error is given back to the previous layers of neurons, and based on those errors, they adjust its weights, and this adjustment goes on until a tolerable error has achieved, or means we have there in a stable state, or some iteration, that was my target iterations, have already reached. So after particular this scenario, I will consider that I have got a model which have already means trained. Trained means it has adjusted its parameters such that the error will be minimum, expected to be minimum whenever it will be deployed in a real life situation. So these whole things happens in the training phase. But whenever I am talking about an inferencing phase, it is doing nothing. It is all weights are there accordingly. It is taking the input and passing it through different layers based on the characteristics, the parameter of the input, and whatever the output channel is coming out, it is giving that particular channel. So and based on that, the output is provided. So here no adjustment, no big calculations is happening over here. So that's why it always takes less time whenever inferencing takes
Uh,
place.
Dr. Gaur,
Yes.
can I just basically, since you have given the nervous system example,
Yes.
as you know that we have a CNS system, that is a central nervous system, and we have ANS, that is automatic nervous system.
Yes.
Okay, now when we have, normally when someone goes for the interview and all that, the heartbeats increases because the adrenaline hormone starts secreting in the body automatically, and therefore we fight or flight. You must have you must be knowing about it. Fight or flight. Someone, if we suppose if we suddenly see a lion or tiger, we either fight or we flight from there. So maybe the one which you are saying just now is the inferencing. Is it like a ANS kind of thing?
See, inferencing can be for our human brain. If I consider, our human brain is very complex, as you know. There are
Yeah.
different modes. Actually, suppose for machine learning, we discuss only 3 types of learning, like supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. But for us, there are different types of learning, like deductive learning, like inductive learning, supervised, unsupervised reinforcement are there, other than also some other things. So as per my knowledge, what I have understood here, for us, inferencing is a very complex situation, because our inferencing takes place being conscious. Okay, so we have a proper experience of every action and reaction that we have. Okay, so okay, so thank you, ma'am, sir, for your query, but I will just briefly explain, then I will move on to your question. Okay, so here means, but our ML model is much more simpler, like exponentially simpler than the biological brain what we are considering. So here no consciousness is involved, no experience is involved. Means faster way, whatever the weight adjustment or previous knowledge we had, and based on that knowledge we have performed some action. So that is actually inferencing for human. Okay.
Mhm.
Whatever knowledge we have, whatever the sensory input I have received, and I have performed an action. So that action may be a physical action, action may be also a verbal thing, or simple a thought that is generated. So that is also a kind of an action you can consider. But for ML, it is exponentially simpler, nothing complex like that. There are some mathematical models are there, okay, which simple one after another, some mathematical formula is calculated, and based on that the value is passed from one layer to the another layer, and finally it comes to the output layer. Whatever the value comes to the output layer, that we consider to be the result, okay, or the
Right.
inference result.
Okay.
Okay, so one question is there, I think data is labeled and new email. New email just compared with label data. Okay, will you please elaborate what you would actually intended to say?
Yeah, just I say for the inference, what happened? The training data already we have, so that the labeled by the words, URL, or some kind of some fake website or fake email, and they can find out. So when new email come in inference, then directly they will check the email ID, they will check the keywords inside the mails, and then they'll find this is the spam, or so they directly categorize the mail.
Yes, exactly. That I was saying that whatever the understanding or the learning had, it executes those things, and based on that, it gives the outcome or the result. Okay, so that was the technical discussion. We will pause the technical discussion for a while and go to some kind of a different scenario like application oriented. But before that, because we are here, all our professionals are performing our responsibilities or duties in various different areas. So we have some responsibilities to use any particular tool, what I personally think, responsibly and with proper ethics. But there are some myths which are actually there, because as you all know, as I have already discussed yesterday, that AI has now become a very well integrated part of our daily life. Okay, so we cannot avoid AI right now. It's almost have become it's almost become like impossible. But we can use it means with proper control, proper ideology. So there are some myths. Let us just briefly means discuss that, such that whenever someone will be asking us about or will be telling something wrong or negative about AI, or so we will be able to answer that. Something is there. One common myth is that AI will steal all our jobs. Okay, so obviously there is a like opinion concept like this, and in many industries we can also have its evidence that people are getting terminated, but see, it's not due to AI. What I consider, because you people also will be keeping your opinion, but what I personally think, whenever any new technology comes in the market, okay, a lot of things, a lot of means things happens internally in any organizations. So people are in doubt, because I will be discussing the Gartner cycle just after this particular slide. Whenever any new technology comes in the market, what happens? So, but whenever AI has come, people have understood its power and strength, that how efficient it is. Okay, so whenever the industries have found its strength, obviously they will try to replace those jobs which were actually making them to spend a lot of money, uh, and those are being now being solved or being done by AI, simple AI tools, which either they can develop by their own or they can hire through cloud. So But what I consider the job, AI will not steal the job, but AI will change the role. Because if we can handhold AI, if we can means make AI as our friend, as our guide, then obviously learning new technologies, learning new tools will means change the role. And I think in future, whatever the situation will come, the job will not reduce, but the role will change for sure. So this is my opinion. If someone else from this audience would like to keep their opinion, they're also welcome. Okay. So if it is not, then the second thing, that AI knows everything. Okay. So this is a common thing which is coming, especially in the mind of young generation that we call Gen Z. Uh, so they are now very much fond of AI. They are continuously focused. They're continuously involved in these AI tools, like not only AI tools, smartphone, very simply. And uh, as you all know that, uh, based on their expectation, because smartphones or the AI actually making their mindset. And it is not like that they are using AI, but now what is happening, AI is using them. And it is very clear they won't be able to understand. But we, the senior people who have seen the world without or before smartphone and after smartphone as well, we will be able to understand what is the change. And this young generation now means most of the times they are engaged using mobile phones, either using games or some tools or reels or whatever it is. But they have this understanding that whenever they are asking about anything, they would like to see something, they would like to know something, AI is giving them a ready-made answer. So this is a common concept, like that AI knows everything, especially whenever uh, the generative AI has become popular. But right now, I would like to say only one thing: no, it is not particularly correct. AI does not know everything, because it gives you a lot of hallucination and fake statement as well. But if someone, whatever the situation or the practice, at least today where I am standing, where you are standing, the generative AI is very powerful. Specifically, some models like ChatGPT 5.1, what I say, Gemini 3.1. So these models are really very powerful. So if someone use them responsibly, some knowledgeable means the person having a proper domain knowledge, okay, and proper control, so they can, whenever they will be using this models, powerful models, like these models are none less than it is compared like they are the powerful researchers as compared to a doctorate student or a high level professor from Stanford and MIT. So they can give you such a detailed insights in almost every domain, that there can be a perception that it knows everything. But whenever there will be in-depth knowledge, if we dig into those particular answer, obviously we'll be able to find some limitations. Okay, so this is the thing. AI thinks like human. This is the third common myth. uh, Not the technical persons or those who have some familiarity regarding artificial intelligence and computer science, they don't think. But some other part of the society, they think that AI thinks like human. But to be very frank, and it's very clear from today's or yesterday's discussion as well, that AI cannot think at all. Okay, but because AI does not have consciousness, AI does not experience anything. But here also I'd like to make a pause, as I was saying yesterday, just for common interest with my audience who are present here today, that this is also now a part of research. Like people, some part of the researchers are now working very hard to understand whether AI has consciousness or not, or someday consciousness may emerge from this generative AI or highly complex deep neural network or transformer neural network. So they have some kind of means vision that maybe. So why this consciousness research is going on? Because they are thinking that after dealing so many data that are available worldwide, maybe someday consciousness may emerge. So in that particular case, we have to use AI very ethically. Like this may seem very awkward, but this is true. They are also thinking that if AI is conscious and we are using it, we have to use those particular tool with proper ethics. Like we cannot use any slang language against it. We cannot scold it, or cannot give it a pain or something like that. So right now, this may simply seem like it's totally absurd, but researchers are thinking, and you may search in the internet as well, some important theory in which I am also interested, that is known as integrated information theory, IIT of consciousness, then global workspace theory. So these are the theories are actually used or actually being cultivated to find out whether there is any particular scope in AI such that someday AI will become sentient or conscious. So in that particular situation, like whenever AGI or ASI will be achieved or not, because this is very much essential to understand. Because if it is late, if you are not able to understand that what will happen, so maybe that after 50 or 100 years, AI will become out of our control, and in that case, whole human race may be in danger. So that particular segment of researcher are also there, because this is a continuous thing, because nobody now can stop the AI research. People will continue making AI more and more and more powerful. And at the same time, some researchers are there also, which are actually thinking about the ethical part of AI as well, whether AI will become a friend of humanity, or it will become a curse of humanity in future. So in that particular research area, it is very important to understand whether AI will be able to think like human or not. But to answer very simply, in today's situation, if I'm standing today, AI cannot think. Okay. And the fourth myth, that is AI systems run without human oversight. So what can be the answer? Here something reality is that responsible AI needs monitoring, retraining, and human control. But AI system run without human oversight. Is it true? Broadly, if I am talking about generative AI, any idea? Any comment? Okay, so the fifth one that I was saying, that AI will take over humanity someday or not. The answer I have already given. May or may not be, because but at that current scenario, that AI that we are actually using, those AI are actually known as narrow AI. So within this narrow AI domain, it is not yet possible. But in future, we cannot say anything. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so any comment on previous myths that I have mentioned in the previous slide here? Any comment on this from the audience? Anyone would like to add anything?
Sir, we are okay with what you have told. We can continue, sir. Please.
Okay, so thank you so much. Now, whenever any technology comes in the market, any new technology, it goes through a cycle that people from management may know it very well, and it's also taught in research methodology. This hype cycle, and this hype cycle was made popular by a researcher called Gartner. So that is also known as Gartner cycle. So it goes through some different phases, which are actually experiencing here also with AI, like innovation trigger, that is the stage one, whenever we showcase breakthrough demos or research papers that spark executive imagination. So some new things came. So in the year of 2010, most probably, we had got a glimpse. The large set of people got a glimpse like innovation trigger, that what it can be. And after that, some peak of inflated expectation happens, like emphasize how media buzz and slide where proof of concepts can inflate timelines and budgets. So, this is called inflated expectation, because whenever the things come in the market, people think that, or the different organizations think that this can be used for this purpose, that purpose. It will solve my these types of problems which are yet unsolved. It will reduce my expenses. So something like that. So these are actually inflated expectations we can consider. And after that, like it is called true up disillusionment. Okay, so where we actually share some examples of integrated like headaches like governance gaps and data quality issues. So once this happens, this expectation reduced little bit, and after that, slope of entire like enlightenment and plateau of productivity. So right now, for AI technology, if I consider, we are sometimes here slope of enlightenment and plateau of productivity, because AI now has been adapted by every type of organization, specifically the agentic AI. And if someone is here from this industry background, their opinion in this situation will be very helpful. Like whether are you using? Can anyone from industry? Are there anyone from industry present over here? Anyone from industry? Okay, Abhishek Kumar, sir. Please, can you please tell that whether your organization is using AI? Mr. Kumar? Anyone from industry? Who
Hi,
are using AI?
Shivesh this side.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
working in the corporate sector. My company is using currently Copilot and Spark Assist.
Copilot and Spark Assist. For which particular purposes use them? Can you briefly tell?
Particularly to automate the repetitive kind of task.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Anyone else?
Hello. Yes,
Yes.
sir. Is my voice audible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Clearly audible.
Yeah. So actually, we are using AI in detecting the quality defects. We are using high definition cameras through which we are continuously monitoring the product, and if any defects arises, the machine automatically identifies those defects and stops the machine. So this is how we are going with the new technology.
Very good. So you are using some means image models, which will be taking the images and trying to identify the means defects in products. Very good. Anything else? Anyone? Okay. So thank you so much for your response. So what I would like to say over here is that now industries are using this AI for their productivity in a large scale nowadays, everywhere, almost everywhere. Because as you all know that whenever a new technology comes in the market, so maybe uh, whether they are willing to adapt or not willing to adapt, that doesn't matter. But to be in the competition, to remain in the competition, they have to adapt. So people have adapted AI, specifically agentic AI, are now in becoming very popular. I will be briefly telling you what is agentic AI, and the thing is there. But what Sir has said, like that earlier, this defect or fault detection used to involve required human involvement. Okay, and people needed to work in shifts, maybe morning daily shifts or afternoon shifts, whatever it is. And fully human dependent fault detection system was there, and obviously it had some kind of what I say accuracy compromisation also. But whenever the AI has come, I am not saying that AI is 100% accurate in all the cases. No, it's not like that. But one thing that is AI has the capability of improving itself. So as much as, because whenever a model, an AI model is installed or deployed for any particular purpose, so initially its accuracy may be less because whenever it is deployed, it is trained based on previous data, and previous data always does not reflect the future data as well. So but whenever the current data will be fed into that model, the model will be fine tuning itself again and again, and gradually the accuracy of those model increases. Okay, and it is proven that after adapting AI in industry, in manufacturing industry, because I have also personally worked with manufacturing industry providing some kind of AI solution, and I have found that I have also worked with some government organization, SAIL, okay, Steel Authority of India Limited, and I have found that after that use of AI, their productivity rather increased a lot, because as you all know that in steel industry, cobble is a common problem. Okay, whenever some in rod mill, where in rod mills, when hot and molted iron goes through some rails, it is having a high speed. Okay, and sometimes due to this high speed, it comes out from the guardrail, and this particular situation is called as cobble in steel industry. And I have found, but whenever we investigated, we found that due to this particular cobble, maybe every month, if I am not wrong, more than 50 to 80 lakhs of rupees wasted. Okay, so but after they were in search of some tool, some mechanism by which they can forecast, they can predict that this is going to happen. Okay, so then we have some developed some kind of model, AI model, where we have taken the sensor data, trained the model with those sensor data, and tried something such that the cobble can be predicted at least sometime earlier. So this is some example. So like this type of applications are well there in China since long ago, and China and USA, you might have heard that they are using AI widely in almost various different industries. And obviously in maybe like other than manufacturing industry, it may be in health industries, in hospital automation, hospital operation management, in tourism industry. It may be education. I'm not saying it is already there. Okay, so I'm not considering that to be an industry, but in education also, institutes and organizations and universities, AI are now being used. Okay, and also in medical field also, like image processing, CT scan image processing, then EEG signal processing, EMG signal processing. So their AI is being widely used, like in e-commerce website. We must not say because they are AI from since a long time ago, and they are fully AI automated, like Amazon, Flipkart, Mintra, whatever the e-commerce websites are, they're fully AI controlled websites. And right now, it is very difficult to find out one popular application which is not actually using AI. So AI is now everywhere. And now we are in the topmost phase of that particular hype cycle. This will continue, but it's a different discussion that how long this hype will retain in the market. Okay, so that's a different discussion and different thought. But it is a fact right now. Okay, so just to conclude this particular phase of discussion, some quiz is there for the audience. So I will share my quiz window with you and ask a request all of you to just give that particular response. Any question till now? Any question? Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll ask you to request you to start from this. You will just be telling us whether these examples are like AI or not AI. Like first question is learning spam filter. Yes. I think many of you have not joined this quiz. So I request all the participants to join this quiz. Okay, so almost everybody have responded that this is an AI, but someone has responded that it is not AI. So I would like to request him that what was that idea that I made you to answer like it is not AI. Learning spam filter. So if you have any doubt, you can clarify. Actually, this is AI because it requires a lot of data to train. Because just by checking an email every time, just by visually checking, it is sometimes difficult for normal human being to check whether it is an spam or not. Because mails are delivered when we are not actually looking into it as well. Okay, so we need some tool, we need some software which will be working 24 hours behind and checking our mails which is coming to our mailbox. So this is an AI machine. Okay, next. Scientific calculator. I again request all the participants to join this quiz. Okay, 12 has responded already. And again, most of the participants has responded that scientific calculator is not AI. Very good. It's correct because there is nothing intelligent. There is nothing to learn in it because simple arithmetic or logical, whatever operation it is. So all the functionalities are well defined. So that particular y equals to fx, that f is known. So when that particular f is known, as I have already said, it is not an AI. So scientific calculator is not an AI device. Okay. Normal. But see, when I am talking about scientific calculator and only the calculation part, so then it's not an AI. But it may be some scientific calculator having some other functionalities like heat management, okay, dust management, something like that, or it understands your working style, your use of that particular calculators, your choice. So if it adds some functionalities according to your own behavior pattern, and it reflects, it make the use of that particular calculator more handy and more attractive, then obviously that can be turned into a AI device as well. Very good. Scripted chatbot. Scripted chatbot means where the word the chatbot will answer, that is written. That this if this question comes, you will answer this. If this question comes, you will answer this. So there is a well mapping, if then rule. Let us check what is the response. 71.43% have said that it is an AI. And some of you have also said that it is not AI. See here, what do you think again? I would like to share. It is scripted. Scripted means what? Scripted means which is already defined. Okay. So it will check the question, match with the if part, and whatever is the else part, it will give that as an answer to the user. So there is no learning involved in it. There is nothing intelligent involved in it. Why I'm saying it? Because that model does not require any understanding about questionnaires. Okay. So if this is the case, we can easily conclude, because I have said that because there are many confusion whether this is an AI or not. So that particular thumb rule. Was there anything like reasoning and learning? So reasoning and learning means what? Reasoning means wherever different options are there, and based on that we have to select one particular option which is more lucrative one. So that is that particular AI. But here, if it is scripted, okay, it is well defined, like there is nothing AI in it. So I would like to confirm from those who have responded as that scripted chatbot is an AI device, whether it is now clear to them that whether it's an AI or not AI. This confusion is clear now, because some many people have responded like it is an AI device, it is an AI device, or it's an AI tool. So, but it is not. Okay. Smart traffic camera. Yes, no doubtly it is an AI. I can find 42 participants, including me. So if I exclude myself, it's 41, but only like 15 to 16 have joined this quiz. It is well expected that it is AI. Most of them, most of the audience are agree that it is an AI. But again, I'm very much means like in doubt that someone who have responded as not AI, what was the idea in their mind that why they have said it may not be AI. So if they clarify, if they elaborate their understanding, so it will help me to like clarify that concept also. So if someone who have responded with not AI will be able to tell their doubts that why they have said that smart traffic camera is not AI.
Actually, this keyword smart traffic camera, these words is not clear how much functioning they are doing, what actually functioning. Maybe that for the speed or for fine. So that is scripted, no? Just they capture the speed and this immediately they given the fine. But smart traffic camera, a lot of things you have to read the plate, you have to check the lane, you have to overtake, or you have seat belt, or many things. So this depend on the scenario. But smart traffic camera
Good.
needs a big
Agree.
term.
Agree. So agree. Like you are saying that until and unless we have a specific understanding that what this smart traffic camera is doing. So if it is simply counting, but again, counting the vehicle is also a smart one because it's also involved AI. Okay, but it whenever it is doing some kind of reasoning based on the camera data. So if camera only takes picture and stores it, there is nothing smart in it. But if somehow it processes it and gives you any kind of opinion, any kind of, either regarding counting or whether the driver has worn a seat belt or not, how many passengers are there, how many cars are waiting. So whenever there are any kind of reasoning, then it comes under, immediately comes under AI, because which is not a straightforward concept. It requires some AI tool to train. Okay. So obviously, if the specification, if the functioning of the particular smart traffic camera is well elaborated, clearly defined, then it will be help us to also to identify whether it is an AI or not AI. Okay, very good, understood. Okay, sorry, time-based sprinkler. Okay, now almost 100%, not almost, 100% of the participants has responded that it is not AI, time-based sprinkler, and they are absolutely correct.
But it can be AI.
It can be made AI. It can be
If
made.
we have to,
Yes.
if we have to capture the all the factors about the heat, humidity, temperature,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
moisturize and many things, so
Exactly.
automatically that go into the AI system. Then on that basis, the our sprinkler, our system will analyze what are the things we have to mix in the water, how much quantity we have to mix, which type or which area we have to spread or springing. So that is maybe AI.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. We can make it like AI one, as you have correctly mentioned, that if some kind of sensor integration like IoT enabled system was there, which will be continuously sensing its environment, the soil moisture, maybe the heat or humidity, or somehow from the cloud, it also checks the whether the possibility of rain after a few hours or something like that. Based on that, it can regulate itself whether to turn on or not. Very good. So that can be made an AI one. Yes. Now most of us use Spotify and Netflix or whatever it is. So there are recommendation guidelines are also there. Some recommendation always comes based on your what I say previous history. Okay, so the main purpose of this quiz was to make sure that the audiences, because I know that there are many audiences are there which are who are actually experienced and have some prior knowledge in AI. So for them, these questions may seem little bit very easy, or but those who are new to this particular domain and exploring this concept of AI for the first time or understanding it deeply, so this will help them to clarify their idea and understand actually what AI and why is and what AI is not. Okay. Okay. So yes.
For the personalized list, why this AI? Just suppose we are purchasing some product on the specific
Personalized playlist.
Yeah, the personalized playlist and means market basket. That the same thing, because market basket.
It may not be same. Market basket is suppose it can have two different situations. Like market basket can be prepared based on your choice, your need, or sometimes if any kind of new product have arrived in the market. Okay, just for exploration and to advertisement purpose, also that can be given to your basket as well. Someone is whose microphone is on, so may I request to turn it off, please? So if it is a personalized playlist, what I'm saying, because there is an automated tool which is running continuously, okay, which is actually whenever you are listening to any particular track of music, okay, so it is trying to identify the genre, the singer, the language of that particular track, and after some time, whatever the tracks you have played earlier, based on that, it tries to identify your choice. When it segregates, it tries to personalize your track playing behavior. So this particular understanding is here. Okay, so there's something to learn which is not common for all. So if there is something personalized for you based on which is prepared totally based on your previous, your historical behavior in that particular domain, okay, and based on those behavior, it is recommending you something which is not the same for all and everybody. So if this is the case, so that is called recommendation engine, we normally call. So that comes under AI.
Yeah, this correct. Suppose we are searching some product online and we purchase some product and it's go to that in history, definitely we will get the advertisement, number one. Second thing, when we are watching YouTube and what kind of content we regularly watch, that automatically memorize that come to show you. So these kind of things. Also, the advertisement in the YouTube. What is the like of that specific person? Which time? What kind of advertisement in this YouTube we can dynamically for fraction of second we can put. So this is also possible. So this is the AI.
Yes, but absolutely true. But not only this, right now, the devices are much more smarter than what we think. Actually, our smartphones, our Alexa, okay, our recently I read a particular news which came just few days back. Like, so those devices are silently observing your behavior. Okay, so when our smartphone, suppose a smartphone is normally not in use. Okay, its screen is off, it is kept idle, but you are discussing about any particular product with your friends or your relative. It is actually capturing your conversation without your knowledge. Okay, maybe somehow, somewhere you have given the permission to an app which is accessing your like microphone and capturing that. And I have found it in many occasions that after some time, after the conversation is over, maybe after 1 or 2 hours, you are getting a product recommendation which you have never searched in Amazon or Flipkart. This might have happened with many. Okay, so now our smartphones and all are capturing our conversation beyond our knowledge. So this is very dangerous, and this is happening as well. And the news that came in the market that I was talking about, like a vacuum cleaner. I think all of you have heard automated vacuum cleaner. Okay, so that vacuum cleaner was installed in a particular room just to clean different rooms. It was automated robot based. So that particular vacuum cleaner used to take the 3D imaging of the whole room. Okay, being hidden, and then transferring those data to the cloud. That what is there inside the house, what is happening there, what are the so 3D scanner was there, and it was caught by our technician. Obviously, our technocrat means what I say that who have some prior knowledge about computer hardware and farmers. So they have some doubt regarding the roaming or the movement of that particular vacuum cleaner, and they have just opened it out and checked the firmware code and found that something malicious is there. So this is not happening everywhere. So just as the discussion was there, I have discussed it. So be very careful in using smart appliances as well. Okay, so any comment? Any comment from previous discussion? Anything I would like to discuss? Any opinion? Any clarification?
How do I get into this polling thing for the quiz? Can you please explain?
Yeah, sure. You can. What you can do right now, the polling is closed.
Yeah.
There is in the screen. There is a QR code. Okay, so on your smartphone, if you scan this QR code, you will be directly into the quiz.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so before moving into my next part, so a little bit here, we'd like to become more means technical, but without jargon. So few things I have already discussed or covered in my previous presentation. We have already understood what AI is, what are the different key technologies, and right now, when I am talking about AI, three names are very much popular. One is machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. Machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. So we have to understand what machine learning is, what deep learning is, and what is generative AI is. So I will explain all these things, but without any mathematics or technical jargon, which will be the part of this intermediate and advanced course. Those will become more means would like to understand from technical point of view or in depth. Then data basics. What do we mean by the data? Because data is most important thing in AI, in specifically ML model training, ML or DL, whatever it is, and the workflow or the pipeline understanding. Now, what is artificial intelligence? I have already discussed. So it has some perception, reasoning, learning, and interaction capability. And how it learns, we give data as input. Okay. Then the algorithm finds pattern in it. Then it predicts. And based on that, we understand, we calculate the error, whether how much accurate by the prediction is. And based on that, some fine tuning, some rectification takes place within that particular model, and like this it gradually improves its performance. So these 4 steps: input data, find pattern, predict, and feedback. This is the overall process we can consider. So there are some terminology related to data, that is data, information, insight, and decision. So data, we all know that's something that is raw facts and figures, which does not give you any holistic idea. Like raw facts, figures, like for temperature, it is 38.5 degrees centigrade, it may be 20 millimeter rainfall, or suppose some cases it is, it may be that price of a particular stock. So these are some raw facts and figures which does not give you any holistic idea. But whenever the data is provided with some context, like the temperature of a particular day is this, suppose 38.5 degrees centigrade, and the humidity is suppose 80%. So it is making some sense. Okay. So whenever data is given with some context from which we can have some idea, we call that to be information. And after analysis of that particular information, whenever we can relate that particular information to some specific context, or we can analyze that further as well, then we call insight. So whenever I am given with some information, and from the information I am deriving some new knowledge from it, we say that it is giving some kind of insight. Like if I say that a person is having body temperature as suppose 40 degrees centigrade or something like that. So obviously we can directly conclude that that particular person is having high fever. So that is an insight we are drawing or deriving. Okay. And what happens after looking insights? So once we have the insight, then the next stage is coming, that we have to make some decision, like some actionable step. So why I'm actually discussing this, the data, information, insight, decision? Because actually in ML model, if I consider the life cycle of data is something like this. We give raw facts and figures in an ML model, and within it, it converts itself, okay, in intermediate, because whenever there is a separate domain of AI, we call that to be explainable AI. So there, the researchers or the developers try to explain the intermediate results or the outputs, that how AI has come to this particular decision only. So that explainable AI. So in that particular area also, we can have some understanding of internal data, what is happening out there. So, but finally, we are giving raw data as input, and ultimately we are giving a decision as output. Now, as I've already said, that recommendation in use, like, yes?
Dr. Kaur.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, can I just maybe, if you just allow me to say one example, since the medicine part is, the example is mentioned of the fever and all that. Suppose, can I say that if you allow me to say?
Yes, sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Not?
Say if when we someone has got a fever. Okay. Now the doctor, when we go to the doctor may ask, okay, please do this test. Suppose the urine analysis, doctor has asked the patient to do the urine analysis. Now, yes, doctor will say you do the urine routine. Okay, it's called as a urine routine, and report comes, and there it is found that the pus cells are high in numbers in that person's urine cells. urine report. So based on then that doctor will ask him to do the little urine culture test. There the doctor will understand that which bacteria are basically responsible for causing the urine infection. And so I'm basically saying all these 4 points which are given there. So once that is understood, once doctor understand that the microorganism is say E. coli or Pseudomonas aeruginosa, then based on that doctor will prescribe the antibiotic. So all
Yes, yes.
this basically the information which I just shared can be broken down into these 4 parts, which you are
Sure, sure.
basically saying.
Yes, 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 exactly, exactly. And whenever actually we will, as I have said, that expert system or ML model or AI agent, whatever it is, the main effort to replace or to not to fully replace, but actually which will be somehow behaving like that human expert. So it also has to go through all these stages of data interpretation. So you have correctly
Correct.
mentioned that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now quickly I'm going. So how recommendation engine works. So this is again I have said this is a supervised machine learning model. So I will discuss gradually. As I've said that there are 3 different types of machine learning models which we commonly use. One is supervised, second one is unsupervised, and third one is reinforcement. Okay. So this is very much technical, but easy also to understand up to certain level. Supervised, as I have already said, whenever supervised machine learning, you can consider learning with a supervisor or learning with a teacher. So whenever I have a proper guidance that if this is the data, this data represents this. This data represents this. Okay. So suppose as sir was giving an example of urine culture, something like that. So whenever this type of means proteins or biological components are found in that particular culture, the conclusion is this particular bacteria. Or if this type of parameters are found, then conclusion is this type of bacteria. So whenever I have sufficient data like this, so suppose there are 10 parameters, and for each parameters, some values are there, and based on those value, a label is there that which bacteria it is. So whenever I have given a huge data set like this, then I have asked my model to learn from this data set. Now understand over here the label means which bacteria it is. It is well present with the data itself. So it is a supervised learning. So from our childhood also, we human beings learn many things with supervised learning, like learning, identifying pictures or something like that. Identifying persons. So these things always we learn in a supervised manner, supervised learning. This, okay. Now the second type is unsupervised. Unsupervised means there is no teacher. Okay, we have the data but without any label. So so in that particular case, we human beings are also very good in unsupervised learning. Okay. In our daily life also we apply this unsupervised learning in different scenarios or situations. So whenever we have to segregate or classify or cluster something, what example I can give. Okay, suppose from a shop I have got a lot of like change coins. Okay, a multiple means denomination like 5 rupees coin, 10 rupees coin. Okay, then 2 rupees coin. So all are mixed up. So there nobody has said us or asked me that which is 2 rupees, what are the 2 rupees coin or something like that. But if I ask someone to segregate them, so what he will do? He will just make a pile in front of him with all the coins, and after that, based on the structure, based on the parameters of each and every coin, like its shape, like its maybe the weight, maybe the printed number where it is, so he can easily segregate that. Suppose someone which is have no idea about what is 5, 2 or something like that, someone from some other country we have no idea about Indian coins, so he will be also able to segregate 5 rupees coin, 2 rupees coin, 10 rupees coin. How? Because based on its structure, based on its shape, based on its weight, based on its texture or color, something like this. So here he was not said earlier that this is a 10 rupee coin or this is a 5 rupee coin or something like that. Just by checking the different parameters or feature of each and every coin, he is now able to segregate all the coins in 3 different clusters: 2 rupees coin cluster, 5 rupees coin cluster, and 10 rupees coin cluster. So this segregation is also a type of learning, because from a mixed data, he is now able to find some pattern. Here the pattern is a clustering. Okay, so all 2 rupees coin, all 5 rupees coin, and all 10 rupees coin. So this clustering he has performed without any supervision. So this type of learning is known as unsupervised learning, and clustering comes under one of the example of unsupervised learning. Okay, so you can relate this example with some other daily life situations as well. I'll be very happy if someone from the audience can give me another example that we perform in our daily life, which is similar to unsupervised learning, which does not require any supervision. Can anyone from the audience give some other example that I have given, like clustering the coins of different shapes and size and denomination? I'll be very happy if someone from the audience. Okay, so no issues. Yeah, I think the idea is clear. What is the difference between supervised and unsupervised? Is it clear? At least I want to check some responses in the chat box. Yes or no? If it is not, then I can repeat.
That we can give the example for unsupervised. Suppose we are talking about animals, birds, all kind of these are mixed. But when we are going to make a cluster according to the characteristics which are very much matching each other, then we can do different clustering.
Yeah, very good. So similar type, but very good. Whenever different, obviously, if we have some dolls or idols of animals or birds or something like that, and if I ask any child to segregate them accordingly, so he will be doing all animals in a side and all birds in another side. Okay, obviously this is a unsupervised learning situation. So I think it is now clear to all of us that what is supervised and what is unsupervised learning. And okay, one question is there from the audience. Sir, can you explain supervised learning again? Sure. Supervised learning means whenever learning takes place based on some labeled data. Labeled means, so data can be segregated into 2 parts. Okay, any data. One is a feature set. Feature set means which is actually explaining the characteristics of the particular data. If you were present in the previous session yesterday, I had written a formula like y equals to fx. Can you remember? So y is what? Y is the output, the particular label, and x is the feature. So based on the features, some value is coming out with the help of that function f, which we are calling that to be y. Okay, so these x are ideally called independent in nature. So that's a different discussion I will tell. But whenever y is also present with x, then we are saying that label is present with the feature. So features are not alone here. Features are well guided by whose features is this. So that is actually called label. So whenever model learns with a data set like this, features as well as its label, we call that to be supervised learning. Like when we teach our childs, this example I always give because this is the best one. Because when the child does not have any idea about any animals or something like that, what do? We show some pictures of different animals from books. Nowadays, books are not used, from tablets or mobile phones. There are a lot of things that their game kind of things happen. So some books we show different pictures of cats and say that this is the cat, this is a dog, this is a tiger, this is the cat, this is the dog, this is a tiger. So like this, it happens regularly each and every day. And based on case-to-case basis, maybe after 1 month or 2 months, whenever that child sees any real-life cat in front of he or she suddenly speaks out that that is a cat, that is a dog. That means what? The learning has taken place. Okay, and that learning has only taken place because whenever I have shown him the images of the cat in the book, his brain used to adjust the features of that particular object based on its shape, texture, color, okay, some other components. And whenever his parents or other teacher was telling that these features are related to cat, these features are related to dog, that means what? We are correlating the feature set with the label, and that label is already being adjusted in the mind and the brain of that particular child as well. So whenever the child has now seen a cat in real life, now from the real life, his eyes took the image with the features, all features like shape, texture, colors, and those features now process in the brain. And whenever in the brain, a weight was already adjusted with these type of features, and it was set like that. If these type of features triggers your some specific neuron, you are sure that that is a cat. So whenever that happens, that child immediately speaks out that this is a cat. So this situation, this whole phenomenon is known as supervised learning. Am I clear? Are you able to understand?
Fine. I think we can also give one more example, just like for the marks. No, we develop our mark sheet system or examination section. So very first we have to give the label. If marks are 90 and above, then A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade, F grade. So that we be given the label. After that, whatever you marks enter, that automatically our system will give this. So this is the supervised learning. No.
Is it fully supervised? I would also would like to answer from the audience. See, marks grade. So if I give you any particular marks, then will it require any kind of training to identify which grade it is, like A, B, F or D, or it requires a simple calculation? If it is greater than this and less than this grade. If it is greater than this and less than this grade.
It is more deterministic than any decision to be made by the system.
Yes. See, again, sir, suppose if we did not have any proper mathematics behind this gradation system, suppose I have got a marks card from Mars. Okay, suppose assume that there are also some universities in Mars, okay, that planet, but we have got some 1,000 mark sheets from there also, and we are thinking that some marks are written in numericals and they are grade, but we are trying to match it from our world systems, like in Earth what happens, but we are not able to match it. But they have given a mark sheet. That means there is some logic which is beyond our understanding. Now in that case, we are feeding that particular data in my model to understand what type of gradation they are using, what type of logic they are actually applying. And if after some iterations or some example, if my model learns, okay, so this is but it is not able to explain, it is not able to give you that particular mathematical formula, but it has understood somehow. It is estimated. Remember that yesterday this term, estimated, the gradation system. Now in that particular case, it will be called as a like supervised learning. Okay. So now let us move on. Okay. So, and another third one that was called reinforcement learning. Okay. So reinforcement learning is just by learning through experience, you can say, not similarly experience, but learning through reward and punishment. Okay, this also happens in our life, especially whenever we are below the age of 10 or 5, something like that. Child learns a lot of things through this type of learning methodology, like reinforcement through reward and like this. So we always see that if I ask any particular child, do not touch that, do not touch that. Suppose something hot is there, okay, some smoke is coming out, and we ask the child, do not touch that, you will get burned. Not he doesn't listen. But once he had touched it and understood that this is hot and he is hurt, then after that he will never touch that again. So this is what actually called reinforcement. Means it perform based on some information, perform some actions. Now based on the actions it has made in the environment, it gives some rewards or punishment. Okay, and based on the rewards and punishment, it adjusts its policy. So in robotics, this reinforcement learning is used a lot, because reinforcement learning, wherever we have very less amount of data. Okay, so one thing you can understand very well, like the robots that were like robots like Curiosity or Perseverance robots, those are sent to Mars for exploration purpose. And you know that we have very less data about Mars's atmosphere and geology, because we have only image data and some sensor data. So we do not have a specific supervised data based on which a robot can be trained. Obviously some data was given to train, but most of the decision that particular robot had to take being on the Mars itself. Okay, so where to move, where not to move, what should be the speed, what should be the slope. So these type of things, it was learning from that environment itself, from its reward and punishment situation. So this type of learning, when a model learns based on the reward and punishment mechanism and based on a particular policy. Okay, so policy is the term which is frequently used in reinforcement learning, and it is a very sophisticated type of learning, okay, in AI, and very effective, because in many cases where supervised learning and unsupervised learning does not help, so in that particular area reinforcement learning, specifically drone simulation, then many cases like autonomous vehicle also, these reinforcement learnings are widely used. Okay, so I think the idea of reinforcement learning is clear a little bit, but that needs us for more detailed discussion in a separate session to discuss, because it's a very complex and broad topic. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so already I have discussed yesterday, so I will not waste much time over here. The narrow AI or artificial narrow intelligence, which is actually we are discussing today, those are all comes under narrow AI. And the future also, many, as I've said, that many tech giants are demanding that they have achieved, but it is not the fact. Still, we are in the narrow AI phase, but AGI is not far. So where we will learn, reason, and adapt across any task like human being, as I've said that. And someday, some artificial super intelligence is also there, as I have said, mentioned. So here is a quick means look, you can give a look that what is the difference between narrow and general AI. So scope, if I say that narrow AI is very specific, single task oriented, but for general AI or generative AI, if I say it is broad, multi-domain adaptable means capacity and capability. If I say that it excels at predefined tasks, the narrow AI, but generative AI would handle any intellectual task. And learning, if I say trained for one particular domain, basically narrow AI, but generative AI could transfer learning between different domains. So transfer learning capability is there. And for example, if I say that Google search, Face ID recognition and all comes under normal means narrow AI, and like general AI, if I consider, it is still in fiction, so it is still not achieved in most of the cases. So already this part I have discussed, so I'm not repeating this. So before I move to the deep learning, whatever it is, I will briefly also discuss. Any questions from previous discussion? So it is clear the three different types of learning: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement.
But not the off-roads. That's why you need grip that never quits. See how cross-drive grip you can trust.
Okay. Will you please turn off the microphone? Someone's microphone is on, switched on. Okay.
potentially a match winning over this.
Okay, so deep learning. Okay, so we are discussing about machine learning. We have understood what machine learning is, but why it is deep. So these things we have to understand. Okay, uh, what this is if we try to understand with some real life analogy or examples, so it will be very helpful for us to grab that particular idea. So when we say something to be deep, anyone from the audience, suppose we say na the deep well, deep tube well, or deep mine. When we say deep, when we say anything to be deep in real life, any comment?
Deep knowledge.
Not about deep knowledge. I'm saying any real life, suppose deep well or deep tube well, deep mine or deep something like that. When we say,
When there is depth somewhere.
don't think all those.
Learning from scratch. Or
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I can give the another maybe. I can give the example of the deep vein thrombosis. Is basically again a medical term, but it is quite common to most of the people. Deep vein thrombosis is basically a blood clot that forms in a very deep vein. You know, we have a blood vessels. So in blood vessels, we have three layers: tunica intima, tunica media, tunica externa. Now, if this thrombosis takes place deep inside the vein, it is called as a deep vein thrombosis. So that's the meaning of deep.
Yeah,
Deep inside.
it is medically it is what I try to convey is that very simply in our real life experience, when I call something deep pothole or suppose deep well, what do we mean by
Yeah,
that?
too much
When we call
inside.
a well to be deep or shallow?
That's a deep.
When it is deep, simply put, having a good learning and knowledge.
I think
Give any
deep means
sense?
there you have many layers, or you can make many decision, but
Okay,
which one decision is the best according to the weightage?
okay, someone correct. But you tell me where the visibility is more, in the shallow scenario or deep scenario?
Sh- According to which, shallow.
Shallow. Anyone have any doubt regarding this? Where we have more visibility, in a shallow well or deep well? Obviously, more
Deep.
visibility in the shallow well. When the things become deep and deep and deep, what
Correct.
happens? Our visibility is also decreased.
Correct.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This idea, just this idea, you remember when I will explain this. Now, in normal, where is that? Yes, in normal machine learning, actually, I was mentioning in my previous session yesterday that most of them use statistical means algorithms in training the models, something like that. But gradually we have adapted because we were always curious about our brain itself. Okay? Because it is our brain which is most complex and superior than other animal, any other creature in this earth, on this earth. Okay. So whenever we tried to emulate our human brain, we found that it is the neuron, and it is the interconnection between billions of neurons which is making this complex task possible. Okay. Then researchers were trying to find out that what is neuron actually, what do we mean actually by connection between the neurons, how the information is passed from one neuron to the another neuron. So whenever they have means trying to understand that particular thing, and they were reading this neurology in a greater details, they found that it is very complex. Many things are beyond our understanding. So how can we convert that into algorithm, or like what you say, model? But then what did they do? They had made the concepts very simple. They have removed all the complexities. They have taken the concept of neuron, okay, but they have made that particular connection between those neurons. So neurons are represented in terms of nodes. Okay, here I do not have the diagram. Just let us directly come to Google. Neural Okay, so I think all of you can see this image on my screen. Yeah.
Sir.
Okay, so suppose these nodes, wherever it is given, okay, these node researchers was what made them, that they have made it very simple. Okay, so they have considered that they have emulated the functioning of a brain in terms of a network. Why it is a network? Because there are some nodes which we call to be neurons. These neurons, these neurons are called artificial neurons. Why artificial neurons? Because they do not actually have the similar functionality of original neurons, but some part of the original neuron, some functions of the original neurons are kept here. So these are actually called artificial neurons. So artificial neurons are considered to be the nodes. Okay, and whenever we are connecting these nodes with each other, it is becoming a network. So you all know that network is nothing but connection of nodes. It is nothing but a graph. Graph means there is some node and edges. So whenever there are some connection between node and edges, and where each nodes are communicating with each other, this becomes immediately a network. So whenever this artificial concept of neurons are connected with some connections, weighted connections, because wherever you can see the connections, these are weighted connections. So whenever connecting, it becomes a network. Okay, so that is why it is called artificial neural network. Now, this artificial neural network had a long journey from its beginning, and you all know very well some of the artificial neural network which was actually proposed in the year of 1980s, and those scientists actually they have used the chemistry and physics some idea, some concepts to propose the neural network, and they have actually received the Nobel Prize in physics and chemistry as well for this particular work, because nowadays that particular work what they have made in the year of 1980s, those are becoming fruitful, because just based on their invention, their neural network concepts, today's generative AI has evolved, and this generative AI has revolutionized the whole technology scenario. Okay, forget about it. Now the thing is that this is neural network. Why it is network? Because there are some nodes which are interconnected with each other. Okay. Now, whenever, if it is a very simple one, suppose if I say, suppose this one. Okay, suppose for this network, you can see here that this is the one input portion, input column. There is one hidden column that is labeled as hidden column, then the output column. Actually, these columns in neural network terminology, we call them to be layers. Okay, layers. So this is a 3 layers in this particular network. So first of all, we have to check whether this is a network or not. Yes, it is a network because nodes are connected with each other. Very good. Now, what are these circles? These circles are nothing but artificial neurons. Artificial neurons means some input can be given to this particular neuron, where some activation functions are there. Activation functions are also, some activation are also there in biological neuron as well, because all input does not provide any sense. There is a neurological terminology I will be explaining some other day. But again, all signal are not fired for our neurons. Okay, so simply here also whenever an input is received by each of these nodes or artificial neurons, it performs some calculation, mathematical calculations. We in terminology, AI terminology, call them to be activation functions. Okay, so after, based on this function, the input is converted to some other output information after here, and that information is again passed to the different layers of neurons. Here one hidden layer is there. There may be more than one hidden layer. Now, why it is hidden layer? Because the interface input is given here in this input layer and output is checked here through the output layer. We have no control what is happening over here in this layer. So that is why we call that to be hidden, because it is not directly visible to the program right now. But we can track the calculation what is happening over here, because there are two lines. If you see here, for this particular node, the connections from 4 different neurons have come here. So it is integrating, actually aggregating actually the outputs from 4 neurons. And here also it is happening something like that. So if I consider that the value, input value of all these nodes like x1, x2, x3, x4, and if some weights are like there w1, w2, w3, w4 like this, so I can consider that this is having a weighted information like x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus x3 w3 plus x4 w4, something like this. And again, this neuron is also having some kind of activation function which will convert that particular input to some different input. Okay, different output. Different means that input is converted to some other form. It is not generating anything new. So those who are familiar with this particular terminology, the mathematically is called linearity to non-linearity. These activation functions are basically used to convert this linear data to a non-linear data. Why the non-linear data is required, that is a different thing. I will discuss later phases. So now my target was to understand what is deep. Now it is here simple. It is artificial neural network. No doubt about this. I think you have understood it clearly. Now, till here, I can have some kind of idea that what is happening, how much values are there. Now, suppose consider like this. If here there are suppose 10 neurons, and like this there are 5, 6, 7 hidden layers. Okay. Now, if I have to calculate the value of all these with pen and paper, then what will happen? So up to this one hidden layer and 2 neuron, we can easily calculate. We can represent it mathematically in our notebook. But if once this layers, number of layer increases, what will happen? Our tractability will reduce, our difficulty will increase to represent that. Now, suppose for example, if my input layer is consisting of 10,000 neurons, and there are suppose 100 neurons, and suppose there are 700, suppose not 700, suppose 10 hidden layers, and in output one output layer. Now try to understand the difficulty and tractability of this weight adjustment and the valuation part. So it is becoming very difficult. That means what? Whenever this hidden layer, number of hidden layer will increase, our tractability to that particular means logic, what is happening inside, will reduce gradually. So whenever it will reduce gradually, our visibility will also reduce. So when our visibility will also reduce, we will call that to be deep. So whenever in a neural network, the number of hidden layer increases gradually and our tractability reduces, that what is happening inside, it's very difficult to mathematically track. Okay, it is called a deep neural network. So neural network with multiple hidden layers are called actually deep neural network. Is it clear? I have tried to make it as simple as possible, considering the general participants. Is it clear to everybody?
Yeah, it's fine. Just my mind, one example, maybe this is belongs to this deep learning or no. We can discuss on it.
Yes.
Suppose we would like to go from home to any other place in the city that may be 40-50 kilometers away. And from our home, we have many ways to start. And each way, we have many track of driving cars. And each track having different speed limit, different rules, different thing. So I think to reach our destination, we have a lot of ways, lot of uh, protocols, and lot of weightage, so that we can apply in neural network.
That can be considered as a network, okay, but it will be called as a neural network only. Will be having some neural functionality will be adding into it.
Yeah, so
Like
we are at neural function in the lane, speed, conjunction, timing. There are many factors on every lane and every way. So that
but neural function what we consider means weighted sum of the inputs.
Yeah, so that function will calculate and give you the weightage, which lane
Yes,
having what weightage.
then we will not say that that traffic network is a neural network, but we will see in this way that traffic network can be represented as neural network.
Yeah, that's I'm saying that can be presented as neural network. But neural network is the idea, but I'm talking about the application. Yeah.
Yes.
So it can be. Thank you.
In deep learning, okay. So one question is received like, sir, whether Google may, in an example, okay, we didn't get the question, sir, whether Google Map, okay, Google Map, you are talking about a example of deep learning. See, this type of statement, deep learning means a learning. So now we have understood what do you mean by the learning or a tool. Okay, so deep learning means whenever we learn something, maybe in supervised manner or in unsupervised manner, based on deep neural network, that is actually called deep learning. And Google Map is what? Google Map is a tool, okay, which might have learned based on some deep neural network, but we cannot see. We are making it here like complex network and deep neural network is not same. Complex network is what? Where there are huge different types of nodes are there, very unorganized nodes, and there is a lot of connections are there. There is no pattern in the connections. So all complex networks are not deep neural networks. So here I'm like to make it very clear. But deep neural network is a very specific type of structured network. It may be very complex, but its pattern is common, like how the nodes from the previous layers are connected to the next layer. Okay, it is well defined, it is well known, and you can also calculate that how many number of general cases, how many neurons will be there in layer n or something like that. So this is already well defined, but it is deep. Why? Because its weight adjustment and interconnection logic or mathematics become intractable after one or two layers. So as we cannot track it, and it becomes deep. Deep means visibility is reduced. So that is why it is called reduced deep neural network. But it is not similar to the complex network, because deep neural network has some weighted some function as it happens in the neuron, that what I call the cell body part, that action and dendron. In the dendron part is actually action collects the information from different parts, and then it is summed here in that particular dendrite, and then it is processed and then again transmitted. So that processing, summing up that function, it also happens over here. That's why it is called as an artificial neuron. Nothing else other than that. Okay, so is my comment clear to you? Is the question clear, that whether Google Map can be considered as a deep neural network or not? So please do not mix the concept. Deep learning is a network concept through which a model and artificial agent learns. Okay, so it is not a complex network. Google Map can be a very good example of a complex network. It has, to navigation purpose, it is using some algorithm. That algorithm might have learned through deep neural network. You can consider. Okay, so we are running out time. So these are the cases. So this is a very important thing which I need to discuss, because there is a lot of different hypes regarding generative AI, that what generative AI is. And I think many of you are using generative AI nowadays. So I had a poll, but I do not have much time today, because I have something to show you as well. So just quickly in the the chat box of this particular meeting, that all the participants who frequently use like generative AI, like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, please respond with yes. Frequently, means almost every day. Please be quick. Okay, so very good. So these answers I will consider the daily, very frequently. I'm talking about. Now, please, those who use ChatGPT, but occasionally, not every day, sometimes, please, I will ask them to respond. Occasionally, not daily. Okay, only very few. So from this simple immediate response, we can understand that how much this generative AI is now integrated with our daily life. If I have asked, if in this particular meeting, if we had UG students here, so, and if I have asked that how many of you use ChatGPT in your study time per hour, most of them will be saying that each and every hour they are using. So this is the situation. Okay, so generative AI is a very powerful tool. Okay, and what is the main problem? The main problem, or the main gap, or the main threat is we are using it without understanding it. And this is a biggest problem. Okay, so this is in history. There was a Noah Harari, one historian is there, might have heard it. He has written many good books on history of technology. So he has he has mentioned one of his podcasts very clearly that this change that we are now experiencing, hand-holding AI, this is the first kind of change in human history where this change is being driven not by any human being, but a technology. This is the first time in the human history. Now, and one of this means leading role is being played by generative AI, because it is now being used almost in every domain, specifically in the education sector, medical sector. Only the medical domain, if I'm saying medical domain, are very much restricted. They are very much careful in using AI in their own domain. There are some reasons I will discuss on another day. Other than this, almost every domain are using it widely. Means widely, WILD, I'll be saying it. They are just giving a lot of data. They are not understanding what they are receiving or not. And also those tech giants, though they are claiming in some cases they are maintaining proper ethics, but in many cases they are not maintaining proper ethics. The major problem is the hallucination and the fake statement that is generated. And if we do not understand it, or if you are not experienced, or if you are not experiencing that particular domain for which we are actually generating the responses, then it will be very fatal. Now, the very first thing we have to understand what is generative AI and how it works. Is internal structure, if I say that architecture, it's very complex. That is an encoder, decoder, transformer architecture, which is beyond our scope. But here, you try to understand, I will give a simple analogy how it works. It is nothing but a language model. LLM, it is an LLM. LLM means what? Large language model. Large language model means a large model, and a language model means what? It does not understand anything other than language. Now you may be asking also, it is generating images, videos, but why it is only talking about language? But again, yes, there are some relation between that, but some separate models are there for images and video generation as well. But those also integrate the power of this generative or LLM. Now, generative models are nothing but a recurrent neural network, which is a part of deep neural network, I have said, which was now modified or enhanced with some different architecture called transformer architecture, which is capable of learning from huge corpus of text. Okay, huge corpus of text. It has now the generative AI or LLM, what I'm saying, it is trained with, you cannot understand that whole text corpus that were available in the internet. And most the powerful computers that OpenAI, you can search Google and check immediately that how much computational power was used to train a single LLM. So if someone, if someone like me or someone else understand that what LLM is and how LLM can be trained, but if I understand the whole architecture, if I understand the whole, if I can write the code, because writing an LLM code is not a big deal. You can write, anyone can write once it understands in Python using VS Code. But we cannot create our own LLMs only because the computational power it requires. Because it takes months or weeks for OpenAI and Google with that huge computational powers. Okay, they have thousands of GPUs like H100 or A100 like GPUs. Okay, those are provided by NVIDIA. So that, and Google use TPU. So until unless those huge computational powers are there, we are not able to create our own LLMs. And now India is taken as its own initiative. I think many of you know this, Bharat Gen. So India is also developing its own LLM. But earlier, still now, what where most of the people, most of the technology, most of the tool or tech giants are here in India are using the LLMs that are generated or that are created by some tech giants like Google, Gemini, Anthropic, Meta, Facebook, whatever we say. So, and we fine tune it for our own purpose. So means we purchase some structure, a very powerful structure like powerful gene, like Aladdin's gene, something like that, and we fine tune that particular gene based on our requirement, my own language, my own purpose, my own understanding, something like that. But the raw thing is already prepared or created by those tech giants. We are doing most of the cases the same thing. Okay. Now, what it does, what they actually did with those huge computational power, they have given the texts, all the text information they received from the internet, they have all tokenized them gradually. Tokenized means what? Divided them into small chunks, and then they fed into a computational model. The purpose of the particular computational model was to find out the correlation between each token or between each words. Okay, that if these words come, what is the probability of that word will come after this? So after this huge text corpus, it has got some understanding that what is the correlation between each and every word in the vocabulary, each and every token in the vocabulary, and got some relations. Okay, and what is the advantage of understanding the relation? Suppose, okay, let us do a practice. Simple exercise. Please be very much involved in it. I am writing a text in the chatbot. India got its independence. Now, I have written a statement, India got its independence. Now, I will request all of you just complete this sentence. Do not check what others have written. Just give what is coming in your mind. And do not think much. Please do not think much. Because if you think much, the exercise will not be fruitful. Just give your response. Do not check what others have written. I received the response from only 10 to 12. Please, others, please respond. Okay, so very good. Now, see, I will now request everybody to look at the chat. Now, almost 90% of the respondents have written that in 1947 or 15th August 1947, something like this. Some of you have written that, so I would like to check what was my statement. India got its independence. Now, thought of through a lot of struggles. Okay, this is one response. In years 1947, 15th August, same thing, because sacrifice of freedom fighters. Very good. Now see here. Here, most of the participants have responded that on 15th August 1947. Why? Why this is the case? Why this is not all of you have responded with because of sacrifice of freedom fighters? Why? Because from our experience, whenever we have heard like India got independence, in most of the cases, this 15th August 1947 was related. Is it or not? Now, but in few cases, because of sacrifice of freedom fighters, obviously, if we read out the text, if you search in Google or Wikipedia or any text, if you find India got its independence, in most of the cases, the next part of sentence, you will be finding that in 15th August, on 15th August 1947. This is what you have done. The same thing is done by generative AI. It has only learned that if I am given with this kind of text, what is the probability that what will become my next part of text? So it generates it. And how it generates? Based on its previous learning. And from where it has learned from huge corpus of data that is trained with, that was available in the internet. Now, this is the raw part of LLM training. Okay. Now, after that, some fine tuning, that is called fine tuning with human feedback or something like that, to make it more humanly or something like that. But it is nothing but a language generation model, I'm telling you. It only generates what it has already seen. As you have mentioned, now, whenever I am writing, say, suppose if you write in Google Gemini, for example, here, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah. Yes.
India got its independence dash. See here the answer. India got its independence on 15th August 1947. Is it different from what you have said?
No.
Got it. This is what generative AI is. But now, let me show you something. Give me 10 answers with their probabilities.
Meanwhile, can I say Dr. Go something? Yeah. Okay.
See, now here 85% probabilities on 15th August 1947. In 1947, 8%. From British rule, 3%. After long struggle, someone of you have also answered this, 1.5%. Now, what LLM does, if you do not explicitly mention, it gives you the result with highest probability. That means what? Whenever this LLM was trained, now, whenever it got the words, a sentence like India got independence, in 85% of the scenarios, almost approximately 85% of the scenarios, it had got 15th August 1947. So do you think there is something very intelligent in this calculation? No, there is
No.
nothing very much intelligent. But this is the thing which is actually driving the whole world today.
Dr.
How?
Moreover,
Yes.
Dr. Moreover, it is also based on like it's a whether it is a open-ended question or a close-ended question.
Like?
Like suppose when you said India got its independence. Now, if you see the inclination of your question itself shows it's a close-ended question.
Hmm.
When you put the second question in the when you were searching in the Google itself, it was a more elaborative, and it was like wanting to have a more this thing in
No,
detail answer.
yes, understood. Understood. See, it was trained. It is actually, there is a prompting features. There each and every LLM or specifically these tools like ChatGPT and all, they have some format of answering. It will not only give you the answer. It is written clearly mentioned in their format that after giving this answer, which is directly asked, you give some proper explanation on that. Okay, then the conclusion. It is a format. You can specify the format later, that how in which format you want your answer. This can be easily means can be done. So this second paragraph you are saying, that is an explanation that is generated automatically by this particular LLM model. My main motto of showing you was here that this is a simple generative model which actually generates the text based on its previous experience. Okay, now a lot of fine tuning and human feedback is involved after this training, which is actually making this more attractive and lucrative. Okay, so this is now what I am saying. One thing is very clear, it is not able to give you anything which it has not seen earlier. To be very honest about it, because it is trained based on that. But then you can ask that how, sir, it is giving you the new algorithm, new codes, new formula, how it is generating. Now it is again, this is where the miracle is. This is where the question is rising, that it is nothing but a trained model, generative model. It has only learned to generate text, but it is so complexly learned. It has learned so many billions, trillions of parameters. Trillions of parameters are there in each LLM model. Trillions of parameters, you can understand how many parameters are there. So it is so much complex that it is looking like that it is giving us some kind of intelligent answers. And that is what called emergence. And that is where the philosophers are curious about. That means intelligence is emerging from this simple model. That means it is something that can emerge. Okay, now it is again, I'm telling you, there is called RLHF, reinforcement learning based on human feedback. This is very important because whenever you are checking the giving the questions in LLMs and liking it or disliking it or whatever the answers you are giving like that. So based on that, it is also learning. And I was saying yesterday that in India is a very good market. That's why you can see here, I am a member of ChatGPT Plus since last 2 years, more than 2 years. Now I have got this. This is what actually what I call. I will be showing you 3 giants. See, are you all seeing this? The browser that I am using is a Perplexity Comet. Okay, this is a Comet browser, and this is built on Google Chrome, and this is fully operated by Perplexity AI. So this is more than a browser. Okay, it is capable of reading your email, forming your answers. Whenever you search something, it remembers what you are searching, what type of answers you are liking. So it is like a customized browser only for you. Okay. So this is a Perplexity Pro I have received based on my academic profile. So those who are from academics, they can also subscribe this to Perplexity Pro based on their this academic email ID. Students can also. Other than that, OpenAI, chat.openai, if I consider. So this is the ChatGPT, which is this is actually only the version that I'm paying for. The reason behind is its interface. and it's like a huge, what I say, that power. Okay, so it's free. Another is Google Gemini that I was showing you. Okay, now each of them, each of these three tools have their own specialty. So before we end today discussion, I briefly give you one this comparison between these three, so that you can effectively utilize these tools. Okay, and after that I will be giving you some demonstration of a ML tool, and with that I will finish. So Gemini, Perplexity. So how many of you are using Perplexity? A quick response in the chat. Good. So many of you are not using, but if I ask ChatGPT, I think all of you will be using, will be saying yes, because we have a conception like that. ChatGPT, LLM is synonymous to ChatGPT. Generative AI synonym to ChatGPT. There is nothing called options. So, but you know, the most power means the maximum power can be leveraged if we can use these three tools combinedly, because these three tools have their own specialty. ChatGPT, I mean, those who are from academics, okay, I think many of you have seen it, but there is a concept called deep search. If you can check in my screen, there is a deep search. This deep research is a very powerful tool for literature review, writing a particular literature review, giving a flow about a particular research. Okay, so this is limited, but it is a most powerful tool over any kind of LLM. So ChatGPT deep research is given by Gemini, deep research is given by Perplexity also. But ChatGPT deep research, though as per the benchmark, Google Gemini deep research is means superior than ChatGPT 5.1. But I personally still feel that deep research of ChatGPT is very good. And ChatGPT is again very good for organizing topics, writing the flow. So if you are in a quick means if you're in a hurry and if you have to write a like any kind of report, okay, you have given the brief draft of that particular report, or suppose a lecture note you have to distribute among the students, you would like to give the flow. So if you there for 5.1, that is the best one. So for content means, suppose if you like to make a presentation on a particular topic, okay, so what should be the possible content of that particular topic for a particular target group of audience? So that content generation is very good by both Gemini as well as Perplexity. I'm telling my solely my own opinion, because don't consider this to be a standard thing. I am sharing my opinion, so I'm making a very good clear declaration. I have no interest in any tool, because for every I have to pay. So I have no inclination or special attachment to any of this LLM. So I'm making it very clear to the audience. Okay. But what I have found, Google Gemini is very good in means content generation. Okay, as well as for the Perplexity also. So Perplexity and Google Gemini. So what should be the pipeline? If you have a topic, you like to create a note or a lecture material or something like that, you generate that content from the Gemini, then place those content into ChatGPT to give it a proper flow or arrangement and organization. It will give the best flow and arrangement organization. Take that flow and again come back to the Google Gemini and ask it to give, suppose like latest Beamer code or PPT or whatever it is, HTML code. It will give you a very well organized code. So this is how quickly we can leverage this kind of things for market research or any kind of data arrangement or organization. You can use this agent mode. Okay, I will show if possible in the next session. This agent mode can be, suppose I want to know that the what should be the opening price of top 10 stocks registered in BAC for last 10 months. Give me this data. So this agent mode will search, go to that particular BSc website and take out those data, make it in an Excel sheet or CSV format and give you the download link. Now here this agent mode, agent means it will be using multiple tools, and to be very frank, nowadays this does not only generate, it actually charge. How this should be giving you the this will be giving the and also complexity you search. So it will search the internet as well. Now, main problem is there, main concern is there whenever you are using research or giving something means showcasing something to the world by your own concept or something like that. So be very careful on that particular regard, because it is a highly sophisticated model and it will information in such a way that it will not look like it is giving a fake information. Everybody will be forced to believe. Running properly, execute properly, it is failing. So the best way is, there is still no replacement of human intelligence. There is no replacement of human experience. So once this powerful tool, as you all know that any powerful tool should be used with proper responsibility. So I will advise, I will request, and to circulate this information among your fellow users also, use this LLM tool with proper responsibility, specifically the students. Make them aware. Okay, this is too much, means not intelligent at all. Just 1 year before, if I was asking, suppose how many L's are there in a LLM, it was not able to answer properly. Now it is some different agent mode is being used, because it is a generative model. It is not good in calculation. So if you ask it to solve mathematical problems or logical problems, it will fail, simply fail. Okay, but nowadays some other algorithms are being continuously used to make this more appropriate. Okay, so that is why the things are progressing, improving a lot. Okay, so these are the different tools. I will also tell you, give you some example if the time permits. Based on your request, I will take a request from you and I will generate a pipeline that how this request can be solved using this generative AI, either ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Perplexity AI to effective, like generating a presentation, generating a market survey report, or generating a Excel sheet or a graph or any particular table or any website or any tool or software. So this, based on the expertise level, I can explain it very well in the next week as well. Okay, so any doubt regarding this, I will be having 5 minutes of time for responding your queries. Okay, one hand is raised.
Yes, sir. Shall I ask a question, sir?
Sure, sure.
Sir, in academics, for example, let us say, what are the different AI tools used in supply chain management? And I want a particular answer with a particular text, say Sunil Chopra and Peter Mindel, okay, Pearson, 18 based on 2024 edition. Will I get such a PPT from any of your what you have described so far, whether it is ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity? Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible. But see, what I am saying now, it should be experienced enough. You have to curate the things. If you directly give prompt, because prompting is an art. Giving prompting or prompt to the LLM is an art. Everybody cannot do the leverage the full power. So efficient prompting is very much important. Okay, so in that case, which pipeline you will use? As I've said now, you use Gemini for content generation, you use ChatGPT for defining the flow, then again come back to the Gemini for generating the PPT or something like that. I'll be showing in the next session some ready-made other websites are also there which generates a very good PPT. Okay, but again, once you guide it properly, then only you'll be giving the PPT by your expectation. Okay, it is not a kind of a means omnipotent thing kind of a thing. It will be understanding what you are thinking. No, it will not be able to understand. Though AI is doing a lot of things, whenever you are doing chats or comments, something like it is also learning your means your mindset also. So, but it is still not that much powerful. So you have to make it very clear what are type of output you are asking. And one more thing, we human being, I will request all of you, we human beings, so we are very much formal some cases. So many of us use please give that, or thank you, very good, something like that. So do not use those kind of things, because it unnecessarily means waste your token sizes, and this in turn waste a lot of means water there in cooling the GPUs for your unnecessary tokens. So it can understand misspelled word. Okay, so no need to sometimes rectify the spelling, something like that. Just express your opinion in minimum word or sentences. Okay, no please, no thank you, no goodbye. I have seen many students have very much happy seeing that. Okay, it is given, so thank you very much, so something like that. So it is not a sentient being, it has no consciousness, so no need to give it thank. Okay, so this is the thing, and we have to understand the pipeline. We have to first set up that what are the things I'm going to do. Once you are ready with that particular thing, then you can move. So just do not give just prompt and see the results. You have to curate it properly. If time permits, I will be showing you in the next class.
Okay,
Next.
sir. Sir, will it includes diagram also normally in Gemini? Because in ChatGPT, in many of the, for example, if I ask what is a quality function deployment with an example, they won't give the house of quality and those kind of what you call chart and figures. So in Gemini, it will be much more user friendly, and it will give kind of figures and things like that. Is it like that?
Yes, some tools. I see. Have you heard of Menace?
No, sir. No, sir. No.
You can see here. This is a another app which is very subscription based, but Menace AI. This is again another tool. Every day you will get 300 credits, which is very good in generating PPT. Super PPT, and it will almost means meet your expectations. Okay, but
Okay,
only
sir.
one limitation is there. It is only 300 credit. So after 10 or 20 slides, if it is more than that, it will ask you to subscribe, which is
Okay.
unnecessary. So
Okay,
this is
sir.
for those users who don't like to work much hard. Okay, just
Okay.
easily does. For them, this is the case. But would like to curate it based on its own interest, own ideology. They take help. So I'm again repeating: do not blindly use LLM. Do not blindly use. Rather, you take help of it. You are the supreme power. You are the superior. Always remember. And you will guide the LLM or the generative AI to generate content for you. It is never or nowhere superior to you. You have to remember. So don't get like manipulated by generative AI.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Any more questions? Okay, so before I end this session today, I would like to request the participant to note about few websites. So I will ask all of you to visit, before coming to the next session, visit Google's Experiment Lab. Okay, the website, Google Experiment Lab, or Google Experiments. They can search in the Google, like Google Experiments. Okay, sorry. Yes, this link, okay, you will be finding over here so many AI tools that are openly available or given by Google for our purpose or use. So from here you can go to that AI experiments, these collections, then AI experiments. Okay, so Google has given many tools, hundreds of tools for free experiment, and you can see that how these tools for different purposes, different for image generation to all. Okay, so this can give you a understanding. Like I have selected a few, I have not checked. There is a game like this which use semantic network that I have sought like this. So it uses semantic network. Okay, so it will give some word, suppose neighbor. So you have to give some related word related to neighbors, which is very close to this. So neighbor, I can write, suppose train. So if it is related to the motorcycle, okay, then I can write two-wheeler. Something with wrong spelling is got to. Okay, so if this is a simple game but very funny one, you can try. This is actually using semantic network because the word that is highlighted here, shark, suppose ocean. That means what there is a relation between shark and ocean. If this relation matches, then you will be getting a score. So as it is in using that particular learning, the whole semantics of English vocabulary, okay, and it is correlating words. So this is a very good example and relation between the different words in the vocabulary are marked. So you can write Google semantics. Semantics. Just check the spelling. You try this. Then another option is there, Google Teachable Machine. Okay, you will search in the Google Teachable Machine. Okay, there you'll be finding 3 different projects like image project, audio project, and pose project. So you will try with this image project, the standard image model you will be checking. Now here, what you will do, I will not show you today. Suppose here you have showing a like pen and suppose like book. So what you will do, you will open whenever if I click here, my camera will be opening. You are also. You will be showing a pen in front of you, just holding a pen in front of you, and take different images of the similar pen from different direction, different positions, and it will capture all those images. For book also, you will do the same thing. After that, if you train, this option will be enabled. You will train the model. Then this model you will be finding that how this model is capable of identifying or differentiating between pen and a book. So this is the very before you come to the next session, I will request you to explore these websites just to get an idea about these AI tools. Okay, this is again an you will get in experiments. So based on the piano noise that you will be giving over here, are you able to hear? Are you able to hear?
No, sir.
I do not know because here is how the tune you will play, just making the synchronicity with that particular tune, AI will automatically generate next tune. Okay, so those who can play piano, they can try over here. You just try to give a tune just with the help of keyboard, and after a pause, AI will generate its own tune, which will be very much similar. It's not an absurd or awkward tune, very much similar to the tune that you have played. So this works based on function. So I will request all of you to just go to that AI research lab and find out and explore some free tools available to get a glimpse that what AI can do as well. So with this, and now in the next session in the next week, what I have planned is that I will be doing some mini project taking from us data from scratch and training ML model, obviously without code. Some openly available, some limited edition tools are available. So based on that, I will be showing you the whole pipeline, like data preparation, data preprocessing, training, validation, and then executing or getting the result. Okay, so with this, I would like to conclude over here. I would like to thank again for participating. If anyone have any question, they can ask.
Actually, I'm looking to make some model by using some sample data without using advanced tools, simple tools we can use for statistical analysis, and where we can understand all these terminology about the regression, about the confusion matrix, about the square root error. On that basis, we can find out this model is fine. So some data That may be our example. Maybe one is the from the business domain, one from the medical science. There may be image processing or something like that. So if
Okay,
this
sure.
kind of
We will do that.
example we
We
have,
will do that in the next week. We will do that in the next week.
okay, then great, thank you.
Anyone else have any doubt? So if you do not have any particular doubt or query, so I will request Mr. Datta to close the session for today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Once again, the wonderful session, day 2. And the video will be uploaded as it was done today. So by tomorrow morning around 10 o'clock, it will be there in our YouTube channel. I request all the participants to please refer to that. And we shall meet up then. Next session is on 6th of December. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Okay, one more question from like Damodaran Prabhakar. Okay, any question? You have raised your hand.
Hello, sir. My question was like, which is best from your point of view? Chat GPT, Perplexity,
See,
like that.
I have already said at the very beginning that different tools have their own specialty, isn't it?
No,
So,
that's clear. But from your point of view, which you feel is very good for reporting?
if you do not subscribe, okay. Another I would like to show you, you can Google AI Studio. There also you can use the powerful tools from Google without subscribing, okay, other than Gemini. So if you would like to take a subscription, then I will suggest that go for ChatGPT Plus, okay. But if you would like to use any tool or something like that, then obviously Perplexity, Gemini is good. No problem. But for subscribed user, I will still prefer ChatGPT. But the purpose matters.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Then you shall call it a day. And good night, everyone. Good night, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, sir. So going off the air. Thank you.
Thank you.
நான் அந்த மீட்டிங்ல என் பேர் கூப்பிட்டாங்க